Good evening and welcome to the Pioneer Valley Regional School District School Committee meeting. It is Thursday, August 6th at 6:04 p.m. I am calling the meeting to order, and we do have one member remote, so we need to do a roll call for attendance and also all votes this evening. Frank, will you start us off?
Frank Ribeiro, I am here.
Michelle Druso here.
Raina Dastu here.
Gretchen Kelton here.
Steve?
Stephen Martin here. Thank you.
Melissa Gary here. Thank you. Citizens' comments.
Pop up. All right. Thank you very much. Glad to have the opportunity to make a comment. I have two different topics. One is about the packets. I understand that the packets are always posted after the meeting, and it's probably the school committee's decision about whether or not the packets get posted prior to the meeting, but it would be most helpful to have the packet posted on the website prior to the meeting so that those of us that are interested in what the school committee is discussing can actually read the information prior to coming. And then if we wish to make a citizen's comment, we are speaking to the most relevant and timely topics that you are taking up, rather than something next month that you discuss this month and that you might have already voted on. So that's my first request, is that you consider posting the packet on the website so that we are prepared, as you are prepared, to participate in the meeting. The second, and I understand that the tuition agreement between Pioneer and Warwick School Committee is going to be postponed. That agenda item may be postponed at this meeting. And thank you for sending the agreement this afternoon at my request. But I do have a lot of questions about it, and I guess my first one is, did this go to legal counsel prior to, your just being able to discuss and vote on it? I understand that it also has to go to DESE, which I think is the reason you may not vote on it tonight. But I see in the agreement that Warwick has one non-voting rep on the PVRS school committee, and that's section C, 1. Is this the same as other towns who tuition into Pioneer? Is that the same courtesy given to other towns who tuition? I mean, it seems odd that it would be Warwick and not any of the other towns that tuition in to Pioneer. And then on number 3, is that different, that designation, that representative, is that different from the non-voting representative? Just a question. Number 4 has been cut and replaced with a long section D, Warwick School Choice students. And again, my question there is, do we do the same thing for any of the other towns for their non-resident school choice students?
Catherine, you're at 3 minutes.
How much?
You're at 3 minutes.
Okay, that's it.
Thank you. And could you please introduce yourself in the beginning? Typically, people
sure.
introduce themselves
Would
and
you
where they're
like
from.
me to introduce myself now?
Well, for the people who are watching, please.
Catherine DiMatteo. I'm a member of the Leiden Select Board.
Okay, thank you. Okay, all right. Moving on to the approval of the minutes.
So
Yep.
at this point,
Oh, so citizens'
can
comments.
we answer these questions?
Yep,
So
no.
we don't do it now? When do we do
No,
that?
so typically citizens' comments are non-debatable. We don't discuss the comments. We don't go over them. We don't engage
Ever?
with them. No. When they speak.
Yeah.
Typically, they get put on
The
if
next-
they need at the next meeting. so that if there are questions that need to be answered or researched, it's prepared, and then everybody has a chance to take on the information.
But one of us could restate that question at another time if we're voting on it tonight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she might have
Correct.
introduced
If-
something to me.
If those topics happen to come up tonight,
Yeah.
then yes, they
Sure.
would
That was
they would
open
probably
game, right? I
come
mean-
up. Yes.
Great, okay, thank you.
Okay. Approval of minutes.
I note that Ann Harding is not here, so I'm just going to remind all of us to speak straight into the microphones if we have, should I start?
Yep, you can.
Our school committee members, I don't want to go ahead.
Nope, you can't. My only one, if you haven't tagged it,
I did not.
is Frank Ribeiro's name. His last name is spelled incorrectly.
I wasn't a member, well, official, I was there. As
You,
a-
yeah, but you were there, and
But I didn't vote on anything.
nope, you did not.
So I don't know if I'm allowed to vote on these minutes, you know, for approval if I wasn't.
Yeah, if you feel
You
like
are.
you want to abstain, you can.
Well,
But-
I mean,
Yeah, yes, but
had-
I think it is appropriate to say that you were present at that
okay,
meeting.
all right, so yeah, fine,
Yes.
I'll say that.
Yes.
Okay, ready?
Go ahead.
So these are the minutes of June 18th. Page 1, item 3, Gesundheit. Page 1, item 3, citizens' comments, third line down towards the end of the line. She acknowledged that. I'd like to check and see if that's the correct pronoun for that student.
Okay.
So I will check. Okay, page 2, item 6, C, under the superintendent's reports. It looks like in the second line, about 2/3 of the way across, there is an errant / that might want to be turned into a period. The name of the coalition is the Communities That Care Coalition. And in the last sentence of that same paragraph, today was the first day of the administrative retreat schedule. The next will be held on July 8th and 9th. Going to page 3, item B, Education Finance Services LLC. Superintendent Kinsella reported that CAMIE, C-A-M-I-E, oh, I'm so sorry. In the paragraph before, item A, last sentence, it was noted that amortization can be requested for FY27 when more information is available. Now going to item B, first line, Superintendent Kinsella reported that CAMIE, C-A-M-I-E, Lamica, submitted a letter of resignation from the district treasurer position several months ago and then rescinded the letter. So the resignation was never completed or accepted. Item D, field trip to Puerto Rico, third line, halfway across, the Spanish language program, missing the word program. That's it for me.
Okay.
I have also on page 1, item Roman numeral 3, the student's name is spelled differently in different on
Oh
different
my gosh, I
lines.
didn't notice that.
The last name
Okay.
is different. Clarify those, which
Yeah, thank you.
the correct spelling. And then on page 3, 5D, the field trip was presented by Principal Scanlon Amy, and then
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
At the very beginning.
at the very beginning, presented by, yeah. And, all I have.
Great. Do we want to do the second order and just vote them together?
Yep.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So let's go on to the second draft minutes.
Raina? You have any? Raina, you?
Again, the spelling for Frank Ribeiro's name.
Yep.
So just to correct that. And then on page 2, D2,
Oh.
the wording was a little confusing. Maybe not. Now that I'm rereading it, I'm not sure what I was thinking.
On that one, on the very first line, at the end of the line, the proposed contract for services to work with the Director of Finance and Operations, Taffy Bassett Fox.
Okay, that's probably what it was.
I have one above that, item C, Warwick Tuition Agreement. In the second to last line, letter of engagement not to exceed $2,000 with Joseph Bartulis, Bartulis, of Fletcher Tilton, Tilton, period. That's it for me. And I do want to note again what a marvelous job Miss Harding is doing, not only with the notes overall, but more specifically with including on the last page of every set of minutes, a full list of the materials presented to the school committee at that meeting.
All right, I would accept a motion to accept the minutes as amended.
So moved. That was Raina.
Well,
Second.
yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, vote.
I'm,
Or discussion?
well, I want to say yes to one, but I want to abstain from the next one because I wasn't here. If you're voting on both meeting minutes at the same time.
Then I think you could probably just abstain. Or you would
All
like
right.
us to do separate?
Well, I would vote yes for the first one. And
Okay, so let's do, let's do it separate. Okay, so,
So
I'm
I
going
can
to
amend.
retract that.
Yeah, I can
the
amend
motion,
the
yeah.
motion to approve the June 18th minutes as amended.
second.
Frank?
Frank Ribeiro, present?
Yes.
Michelle Geruso, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Raina Dastu, yes.
Gretchen Kelton, yes.
Stephen Martin, yes.
Melissa Gary, yes. Okay, I would accept a motion to approve the minutes of July 16th as amended.
So move.
I'll second that. Raina?
Okay,
Frank Ribeiro, yes.
Michelle Geruso abstain.
Raina Dastu, yes.
Gretchen Kelton, abstain.
Stephen Martin, yes.
and Melissa Gary, yes. All right, reports. Chair report. I have nothing that I need to report. Superintendent?
I'll do a few items. The extended school year program went very well. That's our summer program for students who have special needs. It extended over 4 weeks in the month of July. It took place in all 3 buildings. Thank you to all of the staff who led a wonderful and productive learning experience for our students. We also have the credit recovery program for high school students that has been taking place in this very room. It's been nice to see a few kids in the building working on catching up with their academics. There are some really fun and hard and so hot building projects happening, cleaning projects. I almost thought about asking you to take a quick field trip down to see the former technology classroom that is becoming the Innovation Center. You will remember we had a grant from the Massachusetts Life Sciences Center to buy a bunch of great and flexible furniture. We have hired an instructional assistant and a teacher to help with summer custodial work, and they have cleared out that enormous room. It used to be part of the gym before the building was repurposed. And Gretchen Kelton, who is an excellent painter, and you will see, school committee, when you go in.
Not me.
Oh, Gretchen Licata.
I mean, I'm not bad, but
I was like, you painted?
Gretchen is an excellent painter. She has painted that large space, so coming along beautifully. Carpet is being replaced in a few different spaces, including the very large business office that used to house for many years our language learning lab, which meant that there were wires coming up out of the floor at various places. So that space has undergone a dramatic transformation over the past few years. New carpet going in there. Sarah Caldwell, whom you approved at your last meeting as our new Director of Student Services, starts, I am holding my breath, I cannot wait, next Monday. So a warm welcome to Ms. Crawford. And lastly, a less welcome bit of news. This relates to the public records law in Massachusetts, and, school committee, you are aware, I hope, that we do a very good job of responding to public records requests. You will see occasionally in the media notice of some governmental entity that balks at providing required documents. We don't do that. We provide them, and we almost always get them out within the required 10 days. There are now for-profit companies that are harvesting data from municipal entities. I see a few heads nodding. Most recently, an outfit called the Data Branch. Let me say that again for folks at home and folks from the Greenfield Recorder. If you are listening, I'm happy to forward some emails to you. The Data Branch purports to be developing a nationwide database of public contracts that will be useful for public entities to compare dollars. I'm not buying it. In the past couple of months, we have received 14 or 16, I believe, data requests from the Data Branch. Again, we work hard to comply with all of the regulations relating to good governance. Governments should make their materials available. That's why our school committee has all your packets online the day after a meeting, right? We work hard. But I think it is a misuse of an important law about good governance when a for-profit entity bombards a small rural regional school district with duplicative data requests. So I've written to them twice now and said I'd love to have a phone call, please. I haven't heard back from them. I have CC'd the executive directors of MASS and MASC. If I don't hear from the Data Branch, I think I'll probably send a letter to the Attorney General's office. Because I know that my colleagues in other districts are struggling with this as well. So I want to make school committee aware this is happening. It takes up our staff time. And again, we believe in good governance. We provide public records. And something's wrong when a for-profit company can just send out these mass emails. So I want to make you aware of that. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Director of Finance and Operations is joining us remotely. Kathy, welcome.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Great. So I'm here from beautiful Cape Cod, and I am happy to join you this evening. First order of business is a big congratulations to Gretchen Licata. She has been awarded and selected as a School Air Quality Fellow through the Center for Green Schools. I want to note that this was a very highly competitive selection process. 50 people were chosen in K through 12 public schools across the country. She is going to get some specialized training, technical assistance, and that's going to be to strengthen our indoor air quality policies and procedures. She gets to go out to Austin, Texas, not on our dime, February 8th through 10th. And I just want to congratulate her on this award. All right, the next section, FY25 end of year reporting adjustment. In early July, we became aware that one schedule within the end of year report, Schedule 19, contained an incorrect annual budget amount. This was Schedule 19, and it overstated our annual budget by $7 million. And Schedule 19 asks us to just input our next fiscal year's budget, which so for FY25, it would be our FY26 budget. The most important point is that this error did not result in any financial loss to the district. As soon as we identified the issue, we identified the school committee chair, the vice chair, DESE, and our fiscal overseer. On July 16th, we met with DESE officials and our fiscal overseer to review the situation, and they recommended that we file an amendment to Schedule 19. And we did so with the assistance from Education Finance Services. So DESE is now in the process of amending Schedule 19. Once it's complete, the state will recalculate our charter school tuition assessments and reimbursements, and we'll make the corresponding adjustment to our general ledger. Throughout the process, we've worked closely with DESE and our fiscal overseer to ensure every step was handled correctly. And until those adjustments are made, the FY26 expenditure balance will appear negative, but that's only a timing issue while the state completes its work, not an indication that the district is overspent. Are there any questions?
Frank? Yeah?
I guess I didn't hear everything she said, but she just basically read off the sheet, right?
Yes.
Okay. So my question is, was this a simple accounting error where someone didn't put a 1 in front of something or 7 in front of something? And I mean, then it wasn't discovered for 10 months later? I mean, what we've been, can I just finish? I'm seeing various government entities or whatever coming up with all of a sudden, a shortfall of 2 million or something, and and everybody, regular people, for the end of 3 months, I had a shortfall of like 5,000 or 6,000, and I wasn't even aware of it, or I'd be like, oh, what's going on here, sort of a thing. So it begs the question: how are we checking ourselves, over a 10-month period, not realizing there's a $7 million mistake, or that an accounting error occurred, that if the state's not finding it, or whoever is responsible within PVRS is not finding it. I mean, hello, what's going on and why? I mean, I just don't feel like I've understood, had a comfortable answer that I can walk away and tell someone, okay, it may not have cost us any money, but it's sure costing us money, or having to spend this extra time to correct a mistake that went on for so long. So to hear that it didn't really cost us anything, well, it did, it does. And it's costing us some kind of consternation for those that know about it, that how did this happen? I mean, and I don't know if I'm going to get a good answer that I'll even understand. So, but I'd like to.
Taffy, would you like to say anything about the development of Schedule 19? And then I'd like to give a bigger picture overview of the discovery of the error and its implications.
And I would also like the written statement as well. I mean, to say so that, I mean, it's clear that, that I understand what's being said. I mean, here we have a statement or a written statement, but it's not clear, and I would like to have something in words that I can now, bring to constituents and say, oh, this is what happened, or this is what is happening, or not. I don't know how serious this is. It sounds serious, does it? I mean, really, isn't it? We lost some funding that will, at least we're in a negative right now, at least in the books, as far as I can see. Is that correct or not?
There is a temporary negative balance. There is no permanent damage to the district's finances. However, I think what you're saying is important. So I'd like to invite Taffy. Will you talk about how the error occurred? And then I'd like to talk about what happened when we realized that the error had taken place.
Absolutely. Frank, thank you for your question. So my job is to enter data into the end of year report, and Schedule 19 is one of those. And this was an inputting error. This was done in August of, I believe, last year. I had come on board probably within weeks. So that error was just an inputting error. Patricia, you may discuss this, but we discovered it when we got the cherry sheet and noticed that our charter sending tuition skyrocketed. And when we dove into that, that was when we had discovered what had happened.
So may I,
And you received the cherry sheet? I mean, that was
about a month
just
ago.
recently?
Yeah,
In
but
July?
just recently.
Okay.
The final
So-
one, yeah.
So it's kind of how to, I
Frank,
mean,
I'd
what
like,
kind of system do you have that it,
I'd like to give you some information.
excuse me?
I want to give you some information.
Yeah, okay.
I think this is a really big error.
Yeah.
There's no way around
Yeah,
it.
I know.
$7 million on a what? On a $17 million budget? Yeah, big. So I have, thank you to Taffy and Cami Lamica, who've been educating me about what goes into the end of year report, just a little bit of it, and how this error happened. And what's really important to me in our learning as an organization is to understand that this went by multiple people inside and outside the district.
I imagine so.
So as Taffy said, Schedule 19 is a hand-entered schedule. There are a number of schedules in the end-of-year report for DESE, I think maybe 8 or 9. All of the other schedules interact with each other. So if a crazy number,
Right, would make sense.
it says, no, that's not the same as on Schedule whatever,
Yeah.
right? Schedule 19 is an island apart. So, and meaning that when you put in numbers, it doesn't, if it's not checking to see if it corresponds. It is my understanding, however, that by putting in a number that was $7 million higher than the budget as approved by the school committee, there would have been a pop-up window that said, are you sure you want to put that in? And we pressed yes. Not okay. All right. Nothing happens. There's no information from DESE. There's nothing.
No feedback that you got, no.
No feedback. When meeting with DESE, and again, Taffy, thank you for making clear, we were proactive. I immediately contacted the school committee chair and vice chair saying, there was a big mistake. We're figuring it out. We're contacting DESE. We're talking to the overseer, but you need to know there was a big mistake. I'll keep you updated. And when we figure it out, we will report publicly to school committee. I never want you to worry.
Oh.
No, this is important to say that the public here, I never want school committee to worry
Yeah.
that we won't disclose an
And-
important issue.
And you know, and how the systems that you have in place, how do we avoid something as outlandish as that
Yes.
to happen again in some other format, some other form?
Right. So,
You know,
so
I think that will be important.
So telling you what happened might help with that as we seek. So
I know that's this and that and all these checks that didn't work, you know, and it's like, and it's still like, how come? I mean, so many
Well,
people
in the
interact.
end,
You know,
right.
I mean, it's just a system that, to me, is, you know, has certain fallible, and it's, you know, and it just it's not acceptable in a way, I guess. Is what I'm saying.
if I may.
Yeah, oh, sure.
So in the end, the system did work because we saw the error
Yeah.
and we acted immediately. So in the end, the system did work. What I don't like, first, that the error occurred, but errors happen, right? Like, errors happen. This was a big one. DESE noticed it, but didn't contact us.
Who didn't?
DESE, the Department of Education, noticed it.
Okay.
This was an extraordinary increase.
But I know it's a complicated system, and you know, it doesn't always work properly.
They didn't contact us. There was, as Taffy said, the overstatement of our budget as approved by school committee and then the local appropriating authorities, which is town meeting, caused a massive increase to our net school spending. Charter school tuition is based upon an algorithm that includes the net school spending amount per pupil. So what does that mean? So when Weston spends a ton of money per kid, right? If a student from Weston goes to a charter school, that charter school essentially gets the per pupil spending for Weston for that kid. But if another town that has a far lower per pupil net school spending sends a student to that charter school, the charter school gets a much lower amount from that other town. So what happened was DESE noticed it. They thought maybe we had a huge increase in the number of charter school students. And that was my first thought. I noticed it when we got the cherry sheets because I checked them. And here's what I did. I immediately checked the cherry sheets for 3 local regional districts to see, wait a minute, is this something about regionals out? Nope, no difference. I then checked our charter school enrollment, thinking, we've been declining. Did we have an influx of charter school students and that jacked our charter school tuition? We get both assessed by the state for charter school tuition and we get a reimbursement from the state. And those kind of balance each other out in this district. So the state noticed it and didn't tell us it. The treasurer saw it and thought that it must have been due to an increase in charter school enrollment. I saw the cherry sheet and immediately wrote an email to Taffy and Kimmy saying, please investigate this. And that's when the state, when we brought it to the associate commissioner for finance, his first thought was, you must have had an increase in charter school enrollment. So Taffy and Kimmy dug into this. They determined it was a mistake, as Taffy said, with the bottom line number in Schedule 19. I am both concerned that the mistake took place and that so many people knew in one way or another about it, and I am comforted by the fact that we did catch it and that it is not consequential in terms of the bottom line for the district. You are 100% correct, Frank. We have spent staff time on it, and we spent $500-something seeking assistance from EFS.
And
Thank you.
I just think the mistake at a point became there was something obviously wrong. I mean, it was the evidence was mounting that something.
But the evidence wasn't mounting, Frank.
It seemed well.
Not until we got a report after the first.
cherry sheet.
The cherry sheet, but before that, the disbursement from the state that we would have received in early April.
I mean, I understand what that it took 10 months and nobody saw it, but once you saw a few things of evidence that didn't seem right, you made the correction, and I'll accept that. I understand, but it's still, I don't want to belabor the point. 10 months later, and it's just there's got to be a better way, I guess. I mean, in my sense, that a mistake like that just goes on for that period of time, and it is not obvious until 10 months later. And that's all I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. Thank you. Any other discussion? Okay. All right, Taffy.
All right, thank you. June 26th, financial report on our expenditures. As of June 30th, our FY26 general fund expenditures is in the negative, as we had just discussed, of $167,884.60. That negative balance, as I said, is directly related to that reporting adjustment, and it will be corrected once DESI completes its recalculation. Under the revenues for June of FY26, I just want to let you know that I have one update to that report that you have. Let's see here. One of the town assessments had not been posted yet to the general ledger at the time of my report. So that assessment had already been received and it is posted. So as a result, the FY26 revenue received as of June 30th, my dog is barking, is $15,019,360.60. And another is we obviously will adjust the charter school tuition reimbursement that you see under our revenue once the process, the amended Schedule 19 is processed. Food services for June, food services had an operating loss of $14,916,027.
14,000. 14,000.
Not million.
I'm sorry, 14,000.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Did I say million?
You did.
Yep.
Great.
A lot of French fries.
Yeah, a lot of French fries, yes.
We certainly
Thank you,
don't want
Melissa.
14 million.
No.
this type of loss is expected during the final month of the school year because school is in session for much fewer days, resulting in lower meal sales and reimbursement. So just to, we've been having revenue, we've been having profit. We've been talking about that in the past few months for food service. And because the revenue was less, just to give you an idea, monthly revenues were approximately $54,000 in May, but they were only $31,000 in June. So while our expenses were very similar, that revenue really hits our bottom line. So let's see here. So on the bottom of your food service report, I don't know what color it is there, but
Blue.
I've got,
Blue.
is it blue? Okay, so you've got the aggregate. So our overall fund balance at the end of June is $173,600,000.
1,000. You love millions tonight. You're living on the Cape, honey.
Yeah.
I am, I know. $173,604.75. Thank you very much. And that is an increase over May's fund balance, which is excellent. Any questions?
Yep.
Oh, is this 173,000? Is that carried over? How does that work? So
Yes, it is. It's a fund balance that is carried over.
Okay, and so we're carrying over something less than we had last year. Okay, but we're making money on this now instead of losing money. I mean, at least the last few months. So is there an additional contribution to this fund from the budget that you just got? No.
No. Taffy, will you remind the committee, please, of some of the steps that you and the Director of Food Services are taking to improve the bottom line next year?
Absolutely. So, Frank, you are right. It is from July of 25 to June. The fund balance is less. Cheryl Brown, Director of Food Services, and I have been looking at ways to increase our revenue because that is where what we need to change right now. And Cheryl has been talking with other districts. We're looking about instituting an a la carte menu, instituting like right when first period starts for kids, they have a chance to get some extra food in the classroom. So there are ways that we are looking creatively, and I'm happy to report, and Cheryl is happy, that when we talk to other districts, as I've said before, we're doing everything right.
So it seems to me that if I'm working year to year and I'm in the 180,000, we'll say, do I really need that balance? I don't know. I mean, wouldn't 100,000 be good enough? You got 73,000. I mean, if everything works right, you even lose a little money, you still got a budget that you can pay. You can.
Yes.
I mean, is there some disaster that might happen, or you got to purchase something?
Yes. If a freezer goes, we could be looking at $65,000. Sure.
Excuse me?
If a freezer goes, we could be looking at $65,000.
All right. So that's what you're allowing for. Is that it?
Yes. And you're right about a lot of stuff there, Frank. We never want to have an exorbitant balance in food services. The point of food services in a public school district is not to amass a large balance.
Exactly.
We want a healthy balance that remains somewhat consistent year over year, because we do have, this is what would you call a machine-heavy sector of the district program. If a walk-in freezer has
Sure, and they're expensive.
we're talking tens of thousands of dollars. Right.
All right, and if I were to look back, I would see that there would one year, you had this expenditure, and the balance goes to nothing. Maybe even have to replenish it. I don't, or whatever. I mean.
Yeah, and we do want to remember that this district has an unfortunate history with our food services program, and this team, the administrative team, and this school committee wants to do everything possible to share information consistently and transparently, because we don't want to go back to the times when we amassed a multi-year hidden deficit that required we seek passage of a state law that allowed us
That's
to.
great.
Yeah,
That's
right.
great. I'm just asking questions to
terrific.
get an understanding of,
Yeah.
you know, when I see this, and I mean, I wouldn't carry an extra 100,000 if I didn't have to. I'd use it somewhere else. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just, hello, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, did you have anything else, Safi?
Yep,
The
I
last-
just want to go
last
over
page.
just the first of the FY '27 fiscal year, the July 26 financial reports. So as of July 31st, we've spent, and this is true, $1,504,834.02, which represents 9.4% of our FY '27 budget. And we have received revenues, but you will see on the revenue report that it shows zero just because they have not been posted to the general ledger. And that's, and our, the July food service reports, I will bring to the next August school committee meeting.
Great, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Any other final questions for Taffy? Okay, thank you.
And just one quick question for those online. There's someone with a phone number ending in 77. Could you just identify yourself so we know who's on the call?
And it looks like that person is muted.
Okay, all right. Okay,
No idea what all this is about.
all right. Okay, so let's move on to our business. So our first order of business is school choice. 2 seats requested for BES kindergarten.
School committee, you will recall that you recently approved 2 additional seats for grade 2 at NES. One of those has been filled. We are coming back to you. We told you when we first sought approval for the full slate of school choice seats for next year that we have 2 district families who were seeking seats for the kindergarten at Bernardston Elementary, but the numbers were close enough that we did not want to make a recommendation at the time for approval of those seats. It's now, the end of the first week of August. There are 16 confirmed kids, and we might have had a 17th student registered for that classroom. We feel comfortable in seeking approval for 2 additional seats for that classroom that would allow the 2 families who already have students in the district and who are on the wait list to get their kids enrolled at BES.
So I would accept a motion to approve 2 new, and then discussion.
Oh, okay. I have a question.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
So I would accept a motion to approve 2 new school choice seats in kindergarten at Bernardston Elementary School for the 2026-2027 school year.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, now discussion.
Okay, in April 10th, we were saving, or we thought there would be 7 age-eligible town residents in Bernardston that are not enrolled, and that did not include Leiden. And then we were reserving 2 seats for new students with IEPs.
Oh,
Did that ever happen?
that was a mistake. And Renee, I'm looking at that was a mistake in the table. That part of the table should be crossed out, Michelle.
I think that's the preschool classroom.
Yeah, that was a preschool. That wasn't.
Oh, okay.
So my apologies, Michelle.
So both NES and BES, 2 IEPs? Or,
No, so cross out that part of the table was what I made a mistake copying and pasting. That part of the table should not have existed in this memo. My apologies, and thank you, Renee, for catching that.
so you're saying this whole
No,
thing?
I'm saying this portion where it says reserved seats for new students with IEPs.
Yes, that.
That part of it should go away.
So
That-
for both,
For both,
BES and NES?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a holdover from the preschool situation where we need to hold seats because children who are turning 3 during the school year who have special needs have a right to come to school, and so we need to keep space for them.
Okay.
Is it the $5,000 figure that PVRS gets for school choice students, or?
For each student, and then if the student has special needs, we get what's called a special education increment, and that the size of the increment depends upon the level of special needs that the student has.
And if it's not a special needs,
Then it's $5,000 per student.
that's what I was asking. Okay, thank you.
So does this bring, if we do the 2 school choice tonight, what does this bring this up to our level in case someone didn't enroll or they were away for 3 months or?
So I'm confident that as of a week ago, we had 16 students, but I believe there was another student in the process of registering, which would have taken the classroom to 17. This would bring the classroom to 19, which leaves us with another 3 spaces at least before
Okay.
I start worrying about changes that need to be made.
Okay.
So once we accept these 2 students as school choice in kindergarten, we need to be sure we have space in the first grade.
Yes, under,
Right.
How does that
That's
work?
what I was.
under state
So-
law, when a district accepts a student via the school choice program, the district, for lack of a better word, owns that student through the terminal grade of the district or graduation from grade 12. When I say terminal grade, it means if it's an elementary district that ends in grade 4, 5, or 6, for instance, the student has a right to stay in that district through the terminal grade, and then they need to seek their fortune elsewhere.
So it's incumbent upon the school committee member to realize if they're voting yes on this, that this is a student we will inherit for
Yes, that's right.
for
Yes,
the time, you know.
That's right.
yes.
Okay, so, you know, sitting here, how do you project that? You just assume that, you know, if the kindergarten class can be filled, then the future grades will be in the same situation.
Yes.
I mean, that's your understanding as an administrator.
Yes, if you were to approve these 2 new school choice seats, the kindergarten class goes up by 2, and we project whatever that number is out into the future for future
And
enrollment.
you'll be able to satisfy the needs of that student with proper class sizes, I guess.
Yes, so the school committee, and I will, Frank, I'm going to make a note to send you the school choice memo from early in the winter where we
Okay.
map things out.
Sure.
I'm also going to send you a memo that's a few years old that talks about the difference between tuition agreements and school choice tuition. They're entirely separate
Okay, great.
entities. So, hang on one second, Frank. Okay, so I'll do that, yeah.
So do you know what, because I'm looking at the April figures, so I'm trying to see how many school choice there is in Bernardston in Northfield total.
That we
So
approve.
they're in April, as of April 1st, 2026, I'm looking at the enrollment sheet for the month of April that you received. There were 10 school choice students at BES at that time.
Throughout
Okay.
the 5 grades or
Yeah.
6
Yep,
grades?
from,
But
K
did
through
we
6.
vote to add more after that or before that? That's my question.
You voted before then.
Okay, so that would have been the
That would have taken
total.
place on February 12th. Okay, and at that time, now this is a recommendation that we make as administrators to you, but school committee has full authority, and you have not always gone with the recommendation made by the administrative team. It's your decision, right? Like, we give you information and you make a choice. So, I'm looking at the memo of February 12th, so we try to get this done early in the year, and I'd actually like to get it done even earlier. We made no recommendation for kindergarten at that time,
Right.
and you took no vote about kindergarten at that time. I'm going to read the number of seats we recommended at BES for grades 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
great.
6. 0, 2, 0, 3, 2, 2, for a total of 9 new seats recommended. So you can see, Frank, we're very particular depending upon the number of kids in a classroom and their needs.
I see that as being a good balance. No one class has a large number, you know, and I think that's our concern, that you're funding this class, or what are you going to need that you'll need
Right, right.
more services to support
Right.
to fund a classroom. Okay, so
So
because
that-
you have an extra.
sorry.
Excuse me, I talk a lot.
I do.
You know what I'm saying anyway. But,
So
okay,
are
I'm
you
done.
wondering, of those 9, what have been filled?
No, I'm bringing that total for BES to 19 school choice students. Is that correct?
In the
The
system?
10
No,
plus
it
the
wouldn't be
9?
19, that would be if all the seats were filled. Not all the seats have been filled.
Oh, okay. But we
And some
had-
of those school choice seats that were filled in April would have been vacated by students in grade 6 who were school choice students who left. And we have students in school choice in any grade, in any building, who choose to go, they move, they go back to their
Yeah,
home district.
That's
those-
all I was trying to.
Is that
figure
19
out.
in the whole system? Is that?
No,
No.
that would be BES.
19
That's-
and B, I thought we
No.
just talked
No.
about
No,
9.
that number
she's-
is not
that's-
correct.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry. But
So we'll get that next month, probably.
Every
Yeah,
month you get
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I hope
I'm
I
just
can
trying
understand
to
it next month.
do the numbers for total.
So, I guess I gotta be, we have 9, presently 9, school choice people.
No,
But so what's this 19 number?
that's a number that Michelle, that was a I'm sorry, Michelle, that was a miscalculation, an understandable miscalculation. In
So-
April,
I'm not
And
gonna
I'm
hear that
looking
again.
at the
So it's
April.
nine
No,
kids,
no,
adding 2
No.
more.
no. That number 9 was the number of seats in April
In
that the school
April.
district, the team
We
was
voted.
recommending that school committee consider
Okay,
adding.
gotcha.
That's just, that, right. At the same time, we had 10 students at BES who were already enrolled via school choice. But some of those kids move out, some of them graduate.
So the answer to my question is with this 9, you'll have 19, no. You
I
already
think
had-
it would be, so
We'll have to
I have
wait.
not brought you an enrollment
Okay.
figure last month, and I haven't brought you an enrollment figure during this first meeting of the month, which is when we typically bring it, because there's so much movement right now with enrollment. So we will bring you an enrollment
bring it.
figure
Oh, okay.
at our next meeting, and I even get a little worried about that. It is far more certain to look at enrollment figures a couple weeks into September, so I might even wait.
So, and I hope I don't confuse this or anyone. So currently in our enrollment, we have 10 school choice kids in Bernardston.
As of April 4th.
April.
As of April,
April
as of
4th.
April.
Yes, that's what
Okay.
I have right there.
Yes. So those
Oh.
9 seats have not been calculated to whether they have been filled or not with an updated, accurate number of how many.
Let's say they're all filled. Everything's, so now you have 19 or a number of that size. So how is that broken down? And at some point, we have 19 students, and I don't know what the class sizes are, but let's say a class size is, 12, and 5 are, school choice. And those 5 are only paying $5,000 a year. I don't know how that works out, that you've got a class, let's say, per pupil costs. Well, it doesn't seem like it's benefiting anybody, really. I don't know. If most of you, I mean, I look at the senior class this year, and I see it was a class of 16 or something, and 8 of them were school choice.
That's not correct.
Oh, it's something like that anyway.
We had a number of Vernon students and a number of
tuition
Warwick
in.
Oh,
students.
those were tuition
And that's an
Entirely
entirely different.
I know that is, yeah, because they're paying full boat. Yeah, I get that.
They're paying
not
an
full boat.
identified
Well,
school
close
rate,
anyway,
tuition
let's
rate,
put it
yes.
that way.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're not playing full boat. I don't, that would seems to be a question of mine.
Would it be helpful for school committee if I planned a brief primer on school choice and tuition?
Sure.
I did a pretty good memo a few years ago. Let me develop a few slides, and I'll write a new memo. You
Yep.
can have it in advance. You can have links to the.
Yeah, but that doesn't speak to what I'm asking or
Right.
referring to is that
It will.
at some point, where's the balance between home, we're taking care of the kids in our community,
Yeah.
and the only reason our school can survive is because we're bringing in school choice kids that are paying a quarter of what it really costs, or less than a quarter, actually. So, I mean, that's a
Why don't
burning
I
question.
right? Why don't I tackle that in the
Isn't
memo?
that a burning question in
Yeah, and it's-
most
it's-
people's minds?
yeah.
Am I
Yes,
right,
it
Michelle?
is in my
Okay,
mind
yeah.
because
So
at
I don't.
some
I think that's a
point-
legitimate question,
Yeah.
and it's and that's why I'm trying to get at why do we add 2 more
Yeah.
when we already got 17
Yep.
or potentially 17.
Yep.
And that are only paying $5,000 a year,
Yeah.
just so we can fill the classroom.
Yeah.
And we need an aide to go with that.
Yeah.
Maybe in kindergarten, probably, right? So we're adding an aide because now instead of in a class of, let's say, 14, 12, we got one in 19, maybe, or something larger, and you need an aide for that. All I'm saying is more services and more money needed to support that classroom. And at some point, I don't know when, when does it make sense to,
Sure.
how does that make sense?
And we've gone back and forth.
Oh, I
in
imagine,
the,
yeah.
Right. So we've had these conversations.
Yeah, so how do I sit here
so
and
that's-
yet vote yes or no? I
So,
don't know.
well, you
Right.
can so you can always abstain.
Name.
Pardon me?
You can always abstain if
Oh,
you
I'm not
don't
abstaining.
feel,
I'll
or
have it
you
be a
can
yes
say
or
no,
no.
or yeah, but you can vote yes or no. I think Patricia's offer of doing a kind of review of school choice would
Well, maybe
I will
bring this
tackle that
vote-
question.
vote up at another month when we have more solid figures. But
Well-
I know the kids want to come to school.
so
We
the
need to let the families
yeah
know.
the families
Right.
have been
Well,
part of the district, and they have been waiting, and so to put this off we've already prolonged it for them. So tonight's the night that we need to take a vote on yes or no, whichever way it goes, and decide to open up these seats or not.
I don't know
And
who-
then the much larger conversation can take place. I think probably September would be helpful if we have more accurate numbers.
Some of this is, I don't want to say philosophical, but Frank, I hear the question. It's a really good question. And I think there's actually a lack of understanding about it. And I think a lot of people, it feels intuitive to say, we're subsidizing them. It feels intuitively correct. And I would like to tackle the intellectual problem of writing a memo that maps out why I think that's not the correct framing of the question around school choice.
well, is it a philosophical answer or question, or is it?
And it relates
I
to
mean,
hard.
I'm
It
looking
relates to
at
hard
math
numbers.
here,
Right.
you
Well,
know.
here's the math. Here's
And
the
fixed
math.
costs.
Huh?
Fixed costs that
Yeah,
three towns
I'm
are picking
I'm
up.
looking at.
Hold
Yeah.
on, I think Raina
Yeah,
has
so
something to
anyway.
say too.
I'd like to
Pardon me?
jump in here. I'd like to
Raina.
jump in here.
Raina.
I know it's difficult. The school choice is something that we've grappled with, that we always grapple with.
Sure.
Historically, though, my observations have been that the administration is very careful in considering, do we need to add staff to this mix? Do we need to, we held off on the kindergarten numbers because we didn't really know who from the towns were going to be coming. We wanted to just wait on that. And so, I think in terms of, whether we have a classroom of 12 or 16, because of school choice seats, we still have to have a classroom if there's only 12 students. And so even though $5,000 is not what it costs to educate a student, it's money that if we can add them to an existing classroom, the tipping point becomes when we have to add resources or if we need to open up a second section. And with the numbers that we have, the information we have today, it looks like we can take on 2 more.
So.
We're not opening
have
up
you been a
5 seats
classroom
in
teacher?
kindergarten.
Have you been a classroom teacher in elementary school?
I have not, but we have a
I know,
kindergarten
and-
classroom
and
teacher
she
here
can't speak to this,
who has spoken
but-
to it in the past.
I would say,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I'm
So
gonna
just to give you a little context, I sit here to provide context to the committee, so you can ask me a question at any point. I just
yeah,
can't
that's fine.
vote on the stuff. I'm not on the committee, but I'm
if the
here.
chair
to-
allows it,
Yeah, right.
everything's
So I think
golden.
I've been recognized by the chair.
yes.
Okay.
So again, just to give you some institutional memory of, that's my 27th year with the district, as you might know, Frank. And last year I had 23 students, and I've had up to 24 in my class. It's been the largest class I've ever been asked to work with in kindergarten. And in this particular case, again, just to provide you context with this case, I think you're asking really interesting and important questions for the spring when this vote comes up again. But in terms of this vote tonight, it might be helpful to know that these are siblings, and you risk losing the families of established students if you so choose to not take these two siblings, because
So-
they take priority.
So you're saying the relationships of the children, this is very important, that they've established over, what, a couple of years now? Or
Yeah.
whatever. It would be very detrimental to them.
Yeah, these particular folks have been.
Because if these kindergarten kids don't get in, chances are the parents would pull the
Yeah,
other
it would make
children.
the
They
strain
might.
on the family such that they'd have to do multiple
Yeah, do all
elementary
kinds of
schools.
stuff. Yeah, I understand
And
that.
so,
Okay.
and so for me, just if it helps, 19 is a comfortable number, and I can feel confident with a bigger class, having had a lot of lived experience with the age group. But again, it's always a wild card, because you can get 12 that you need three people for, and you can
No, it
get
depends on the
26 that you
students,
can
yeah.
handle by yourself.
I understand, but
So it's very situational.
But one would just, if I may just say, as classroom teacher would probably, we're talking about quality of education, and if you can provide, one teacher can work with just 12 students, I would think they'd be able to extend themselves to a greater degree to each individual and provide a higher quality of education. And for the minimal amount that we're receiving, I guess I'm speaking to the future. In this particular case, I think the decision's already foregone, as I can see. But for the future, I would think that we would have to look at, is there value there, and are we taking away from the quality of the education that we could provide with a smaller classroom? Because everybody always speaks to that. To some degree. I don't know if anybody can sit here and say, "Oh no, that wouldn't happen," but the possibilities are greater. Okay, thank you.
As a former kindergarten teacher, I taught kindergarten. I taught kindergarten, Frank.
Okay.
I'm a former kindergarten and elementary teacher, and I taught kids in 2 languages. Right? I was a bilingual teacher. I actually would not want a class of 12 kids in the elementary
Too
years.
small?
Way too small.
Okay.
You need so some things that feel intuitively correct need to be looked at. And thank you so much, Renee. I failed to share that part. That's such an important part of the equation in this particular case. But so what a great example.
I'm satisfied, ready to vote on this
Okay,
issue.
good.
Okay, so you really don't.
Okay.
And I will.
Okay, so it was moved and seconded.
Right.
We had a discussion. Is there any other discussion? Okay, all right, so Frank,
Yeah, Frank Ribeiro, yes.
Michelle Geruso, yes.
Raina Dastu, yes.
Gretchen Kelton, yes, happily.
Stephen Martin, yes. Sorry, Gretchen. Yes.
Melissa Gary, yes.
Thank you.
Okay,
So glad these families are
I am
displaced.
so,
I'm very
I am
happy.
so happy for these
Thank you.
families.
It was
And
painful
thank you
in
to the
the, in the
families for their
spring.
patience.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So, student activity accounts, request for dissolution and transfer of funds from football, field hockey, athletic clubs. Taffy.
Yes, hello. So we have 2 student activity accounts that have been inactive for at least 3 years. And Teresa, our director of student activities, has asked if we could close them and use the assets in there to go towards a tabletop scoreboard for the gym. The policy, your school committee policy says that school committee must approve the closure of student activity accounts and the disposition of the assets from the closed accounts. The 2 accounts that we're looking at are football and field hockey. Football has $8,143.70 in it. Field hockey has $874.26. Let's see. So we are requesting that the school committee vote to close these and to put the funds equally into girls basketball, boys basketball, and volleyball student activity accounts.
Okay, so moved.
So,
those need to be separate motions?
Yeah, I'm
No,
going
they
to
do.
do these as two separate motions. And then I have some questions.
I do too.
Yeah, I have, there's some things that aren't clear for me. So let's just start with, to close the PVR, I will accept a motion to close the PVRS student activity accounts for football and field hockey.
So moved.
So, second.
Okay, any discussion to close those accounts? Okay, Frank?
Yeah, she seconded it. That's right.
Yep,
Yep.
now we have to vote.
We have to
Oh,
vote.
yeah. Frank Ribeiro, yes.
Michelle Geruso, yes.
Raina Dastu, yes.
Gretchen Kelton, yes.
Stephen Martin, yes.
Melissa Gary, yes. Okay, so I will read the motion, but then I have discussion of the motion. Okay? So I would accept a motion to dissolve the respective assets of the student activity accounts: football for $8,143.70, field hockey for $874.26, to redistribute these funds equally among the PVRS student activity accounts of girls basketball, boys basketball, and volleyball, with a deposit of $3,005.99 into each account for the purpose of purchasing a table scoreboard for the PVRS gym.
So moved.
Okay, moved, and is there a second?
Second.
Second, okay. Gretchen?
Do we need a scoreboard in the gym? And then secondly, don't we need a scoreboard for baseball? Thank you.
Yes. Yes and yes.
And I remember hearing somewhere that there might be a request of an organization in town for some monies towards that.
Yep, that has been, I think, a rumor circulating.
Okay.
So, parent hat. So I'm in the gym quite often for sports, and the tabletop scorer that connects to the board. There's a couple things that are wrong with it. One, the wires are completely frayed, so it doesn't work. And so games have actually been postponed and not able to happen because we don't have a timer, we don't have a scoreboard, we don't. It's gotten quite detrimental to these games that need a timer and needs other things. So there's also some other technical issues that are going on with the board itself. So this has been a long-term process that Nick Adams had looked into and Teresa has looked into. And so this is specifically just for the interior scoreboard. And to get our season started with volleyball in a couple weeks, it's kind of most pressing as opposed to the outdoor. Well, we have soccer, so we have that too, I guess. Does that answer
It does. Thank
kind
you.
of what's happening? My question is, is the way that it's divided up into these accounts so that the money has to go into an account so that we can spend it? Is there not like a general, okay, so I'm looking, okay.
Yes, it needs to. We don't have a general athletics account.
Okay.
And because this tabletop scoreboard, lack of a better word, is going to be used exclusively for these three sports, that's why we're putting it into these.
Okay, and then
Does that make-
and then the money from that is going to go towards the purchase of the new scoreboard.
Yes.
Okay. And that was also, if you can correct me if I'm wrong, we also in our last budget cycle added some money into the athletics line knowing that a scoreboard was needed.
Okay.
Is that correct?
I will have to double check that. I believe
Okay.
that's yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. All right. Any other questions or discussion? Frank?
Yeah, so they would draw from each one of these activities
Yep.
to get that 10,000. Okay.
Yep.
That makes
Yep.
sense. Okay.
Yep. Well, yes,
Something like that.
yes. It's not going
It's
to
a little
come
under.
for the remainder. Where's the remainder going to come from?
We will have to probably take it from an athletics account, a general fund athletics account. I don't want to commit to that,
Sure.
but I will talk to Teresa about
To
it.
get to the 10.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Frank Ribeiro, yes?
Michelle Druso, yes.
Raina Dastu, yes.
Gretchen Kelton, yes.
Stephen Martin, yes.
Melissa Gary, yes.
Thank you.
Great. Okay. Request for payment of billable hours to Education Finance Services.
So this goes back to the Schedule 19 issue that we had, and when the issue came to our attention, we needed to contact Cami with EFS immediately to be able to discuss this with her. At our last school committee meeting, we had talked about, actually from Frank's question, about if anything went above and beyond this contract, that we would come to school committee for approval first. Unfortunately, given the time frame and time reference of this, we needed to act immediately. And so we are retroactively asking that this amount be approved by school committee.
All right. So I would accept a motion to approve the additional charge of $562.50 from the Education Finance Services LLC to assist the district with addressing a financial reporting error on the state's end-of-year report for FY25.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Any discussion?
Ready? Frank Ribeiro, yes.
Michelle Druso, yes.
Raina Dastu, yes.
Gretchen Kelton, yes.
Melissa Gary, yes.
And Stephen Martin, yes, for sure.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Steve.
Oh, good.
Sorry, Steve. There you are.
Thank you.
Quiet over here.
All right, we are skipping over the Warwick tuition agreement. It is not ready to be discussed and voted tonight.
Can I make a comment, or would you rather wait until public?
I would rather tell it's public.
I told
What?
some people that we're not discussing it tonight. When Bijak
Yep.
asked for the
Yep.
agreement, I emailed that group of people saying it wouldn't be talked about tonight.
I'm only
We can do it,
hesitating.
but I
Yeah,
just-
no, I'm only hesitating because it could get into a lot of discussion that if we're not going to be voting on it tonight.
I'll just
I don't-
wait till public
Yeah.
comment then,
No,
as school
not,
committee member.
not public comment, but it's going to be on our next.
Right, but I would like to say something
Okay.
before.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Okay, this is a multi-year contract with two districts. And I don't believe the district was formed. Warwick needed a tuition agreement in order to get DESE to pass their district. Either way, I think this contract should be open for the towns to see, because it's going to have some long-lasting financial impacts. And I would request that once it comes back from DESE, that the towns get to see this. We're trying to be transparent and open with the towns, and this is a huge change in the contract that I think the towns need to see.
Okay, so my response to that is I would welcome the town's participation in going to the multiple subcommittees that met on this. This was all worked through a subcommittee. I would also suggest that if there are questions from townspeople and municipal, that they always feel free to reach out to me directly ahead of time, instead of trying to figure out it on their own. And so the packet will be posted tomorrow. Everyone will have access to it. We've had a few people ask already for the district agreement to be, or the tuition agreement, excuse me, to be forwarded to them. This is an agreement between the district and Warwick also. So I also want to make that,
Well, they're a district school, so Warwick is a district.
yep,
Yeah.
and,
And
and we
that's-
are a district.
Right.
Yep.
And that's my point. Two contracts between two districts. You never see this very often happen.
What two
So-
contracts are you
What are
referring
you
to?
talking about?
Contracts.
What two contracts are you referring to?
It's a binding contract, the tuition agreement
So that's one
that
contract.
changes. Yes. And we're going to sign it and they're going to sign it. It's a binding contract between two districts,
That's right.
is what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So that,
Yeah.
Okay.
So the towns need to know what the impact is for the future financially. If we're going to be getting into a budget session transparently.
Yeah, it's a really
And
good
so-
impact. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna get it, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
a really
we're-
good impact. I
Yeah.
feel like maybe,
I
did you read it?
I
But-
guess I'm not, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll
It's-
talk about it next time.
Can I just make two
Yes,
comments?
you sure can.
One is, we have an agreement with another district. The only requirement is,
Yeah. So what?
we have another agreement with another
Yeah.
district, as do many rural schools in Western Mass. This is not that unusual.
Right.
We have one that went through the whole DESI process that went through very quickly.
Yeah.
We have a legacy here with Pioneer we'd like to continue. The cost factors, everything else I don't want to get into, but we are required to have our kids educated, but it was not a requirement for us to work with Pioneer on this. We are doing that as a legacy connection. But I encourage you to look at the Mahar agreement or other agreements throughout Western Mass with rural districts. This is not that uncommon.
I have.
I just want to correct
So,
that.
I'm just looking out for the towns.
Wow.
Well,
for
I,
the
as a
future.
as a select board member, and somebody who sits on school committees and was in education for 30 years, that's why we have committees, and that's
Yeah.
why we have a school committee to do this. So going through the towns is a different process. That's all I'm going to say.
Yep.
I should talk.
I'm not saying that the towns should be at the table. They should see it ahead of time. What the financial impact is. And I had been asking for 3 months, you know,
What do you-
Wes and
What
Warwick.
are you talking about? You asking for 3 months? I haven't gotten
Well-
a request for anything.
I had been saying, are we going to have the Warwick tuition agreement? And I was told it was in May, it was coming the next month. And maybe, it never happened. And so.
That's because the
it's-
subcommittee kept
subcommittees-
meeting and doing work and meeting with DESI and having it go.
Right.
And this committee voted last meeting or the meeting before to allow for a contract with an external attorney to review. So folks were reading the minutes and it was on the agenda. There was legal review. Anyway.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
So, what do we have here? What's this? Isn't this it?
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
so
that's
that
it.
is,
Yes.
But we're not
so,
going
have
to
it.
vote on
so
it.
this
Huh?
is,
I know we're not going to vote on it, but
So-
this is it.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
it.
And
And you haven't-
substantially,
but that's not-
this
but-
is what is going to be voted on, with maybe some changes.
Yeah.
there's
No.
going
Yeah.
to be, there's going to
To
be
be
changes.
changed.
And the
There-
changes
Yeah.
aren't huge.
Excuse me now?
The changes won't be huge.
There won't
No,
be
no,
huge,
I'm
but
saying
that
this
is,
substantially the document.
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so, like you say, two principals, that is two districts, get together, grade this through their subcommittees, and school committees, and
Yep.
get together and sign it, and
That's right.
they do their business together, right? Is that,
And it happens throughout the district.
okay, so
Throughout the
With
Commonwealth.
Vermont, it happens
nothing,
with Vermont, New York, it happens with Massachusetts.
nothing confusing that I can't understand?
No.
Okay,
No.
very good, okay.
And
No.
go online and look.
We just gotta,
Go to Maher.
You gotta
for the
read it.
nearest one, but go to other districts nearby
Yeah.
and look, they've got tuition agreements.
and I can be assured that anybody that wants to see this is gonna be able to get it.
That's right.
In a timely
right.
fashion.
That's right.
Before we take a vote.
Within minutes.
Oh,
Yes.
there you go. It's only a.
No, you are absolutely okay. You are
So
absolutely
the
okay.
packet will go out before, he just said They'll be
The
able to see
people who
it.
requested
Okay.
Got the packet,
Got-
got the
got
tuition.
the
We'll-
Warwick-
We'll include it in the packet that goes up online tomorrow, even though you didn't discuss it because it was on the agenda.
Yep.
We'll include it like the school committee always does the next day.
And then they'll be able to sit here if
They
they
can-
want to?
Yes.
Okay.
and have citizens' comments.
Yeah, that's it, exactly.
right.
Yeah. And then
That's
if
right.
we're voting on it,
And
we
school
might
committee
respond.
members could forward specific questions they have about the contract to Ms.
Yes.
Gary in
Yes.
advance of the meeting.
Yes. So
As could town officials.
correct. Yes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
see that being as equitable.
And can I, just for you, Frank, can I just clarify, because I was involved in
Yeah.
this earlier? One of the things you'll see taken out of here quite a bit is references to the town of Warwick, and that's because when we were negotiating this, we did not have an
Originally.
elected
Gotcha.
school committee in place. So the original document went through the town officials for that reason. That's the only reason the town was included in the process, which you see being taken out in this new document, just for clarification purposes,
This is
which
the
could be
Oh, yeah,
confusing.
the document says,
The original document.
This
Yeah.
is the second tuition agreement we're entering into?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct? This
Yes.
is the
First
second.
one was for 3
the
years.
first one, and the first one with the town
Yeah.
talk going on
Correct.
might be confusing because
Correct.
Warwick signed it, and I actually signed it because I was select board chair that year, because we didn't have an elected, we had an appointed committee, not elected, and
Right.
that was DESI and the legal side. So that's why the agreements was with the town on the first
Yes.
agreement and with the district in the second.
and that's delayed the process a little bit.
No.
No.
You got, no,
No.
Okay,
no.
I don't-
No.
I'm
One
just-
of the
I thought it
revisions.
might- okay,
Negotiations.
Sorry.
No.
No, so the process is this subcommittee has been working on this with the subcommittee of Warwick.
Yeah.
They have been going back and forth.
Sure.
They've had legal review it. They've had DESI review it. There are changes that need to be made that we're just made aware of, so we can't do it tonight. So that is why the
I can't wait
process-
to vote on it.
Great.
Great. Okay.
Super.
Okay.
Sounds good to
All
me.
right. Okay. So, rural schools, nope, sorry, mass lawsuit against Meta, approval for superintendent participation.
So the state attorney general's office contacted me a year ago after hearing about our very successful removal of personal electronic devices from our district to ask about participation in their lawsuit against Meta. The attorney general filed a suit in 2023. You've got a memo here, and the memo will go up online. I kind of dropped the ball on talking with them more. Anyway, they reached back out to the district, and I met with 3 attorneys from the Attorney General's office. It seems like the state is taking a 2-pronged approach on this in terms of protecting children and young people. Most recently, just a few months ago, the governor filed a bill seeking to limit social media access for children and young people. And several years ago, the AG files this lawsuit. The AG's office is interested in having Principal Scanlon Amy serve as a witness as well. We are seeking school committee approval to serve as witnesses and to do so during the workday. I called our attorney to check with them first. And what our attorney thought, likes the idea of the lawsuit, was that the district does not have a direct role in the lawsuit. You are not a party to the lawsuit. And therefore, it would be most appropriate for you to approve my time during the workday to participate. I have in my contract 5 consulting days. Those days were built in to allow me to go consult elsewhere and make money, frankly, elsewhere for up to 5 days, as long as it doesn't have an impact on my job. I have never exercised that clause during my 5 years here. I may, but I haven't, which is fine. Our attorney thought, you know what? The school committee could, if they wanted to, say, superintendent, you may use your consulting days for the purposes of participating as a witness in the Massachusetts lawsuit against Meta. If you approve me, I could then in turn, Principal Scanlon, approve her use of, we call it professional business time, to serve as a witness.
What kind of
as well.
time?
Professional business.
Okay, all right.
It's just a way of noting the
Oh.
time anytime someone's out of the
Just
building.
wanted to get the
Yep.
term. Yeah.
So and for folks at home, the lawsuit is seeking relief in 2 primary ways. The Commonwealth is seeking to prevent Meta. Meta is the parent company, as folks know, of Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, and what is the name of that thing? Junior Messenger? one of the things, Snapchat, WhatsApp, junior, there's a junior messenger for folks who don't know.
Messenger Kids.
Messenger Kids. Messenger Kids. They are seeking to require that Meta stop using certain features that they darn well know are addictive for children. Infinite scrolling, where the scroll never stops. I have trouble with infinite scrolling on it. I'm not making fun, like joking. I have trouble with Instagram and infinite scrolling. Notifications, right? Prevent notifications to little kids, nighttime use, etc. The second pathway, type of relief the Commonwealth is seeking is to require that Meta make full disclosure that they knew these features were harmful, not just addictive, but harmful to children and young people, and that they purposefully continued enabling those features and marketing them to children. And the hope is that by forcing that disclosure, it could help school districts, for instance, when talking with families, say, these people knew this thing was so bad. Like, no one should pretend they knew. So I hope that school committee will consider this approval. I would very much like to support the state's efforts, and I think it is, it's a bit of a feather in our collective cap that the Attorney General's office not only has put your policy about cell phones into their toolkit that has been distributed across the state, but also that they are seeking to have this district talk about the positive impact that removing cell phones from the school has had.
Okay. So I would accept a motion to allow the superintendent to use up to 5 days of consulting time as outlined in her 2025-2028 personal contract for the purpose of participation as a witness in the Commonwealth's lawsuit against Meta.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. All right. Discussion.
Yeah. I mean, bear witness. I mean, generally, it seems like they have time to, I don't know what they do up there anyway, but 1 day or something like that. I mean, do you expect it to be more than
Yeah,
that?
I think it might be 2 days.
Oh, okay.
We are not big players. We don't have a ton to say, but what we can say is, yep, lots of our kids had issues, and we had issues during the school day. Here's some examples of issues with social media use during the school day. Now we don't have those issues because our kids don't have access to cell phones.
These, what do you call them? The 5 days you have.
Yeah.
You don't get paid extra for that, do you, from the school district, or do you?
No, so I would be paid for those days like I'm paid for any other. It's essentially release
time. And it allows
time.
you to do other things. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Can I ask, how many other school districts or, in the state have, taken the cell phone out of the classroom?
Great question. I don't know. The districts that have done so in different ways. We are on the outer, best, most effective edge of
In
this.
other words, no cell phones in school.
No cell phones.
Yeah, that's
bell
great.
to bell.
That's
Some
wonderful, you guys.
districts say you may bring your cell phone, but every time you go into a classroom, you have to put it in this shoe organizer or
Okay.
this box.
And that's working well for you?
No. It is
So
the
that's not how we
other
do it.
districts.
Oh, that's the other.
districts.
You just don't allow it in school, period.
Don't allow
How
it.
do you?
We have what's called a yonder pouch. So it is a pouch
Oh, you got those?
that locks.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Right,
Yeah, I
with the magnet. So the kids come in the morning and now it is not foolproof. So don't, I don't want
No,
anyone
I
to think
understand
that,
yeah.
right?
I was going to ask how you
That's right.
take care of that.
But the significant improvement of lunchtime,
I imagine.
of
yeah,
conversations
yeah. Oh, yeah.
of students who wouldn't previously connect, who
sure.
are now connecting and playing cards.
I mean, I can
it's-
just see it. That's
yeah.
great.
So, and we've been to
so anti-phone.
different presentations
I don't
about
even
the
have
cell phone policy. So yeah, so
I
this
don't
is
care unless I have to. I'm sorry.
and this is not unusual, but Superintendent Kinsella did not have to come to us
I
to
understand.
request this as part of her contract.
But
I think in transparency and everything with
right.
what's going on with Meta
Yeah.
and the awareness.
And I think, like she says, it's a feather in the cap for
Yeah.
For
for
this
the
district,
district
yes.
to
Yeah.
highlight
exciting.
what's going on here, and that other schools can do it and
Right.
should do it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
And so maybe your advocacy will prompt
Right.
other schools
Hear, hear.
that see this,
Yes.
maybe, and I hope it does. And good luck
Thank
to
you.
you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. And so, is the vote ready? With
Yes.
More discussion?
Are you done?
Tell us.
I'm ready.
Okay, great.
Frank Ribeiro, and an overwhelming yes on this question.
Michelle Geruso, yes.
Raina Dastu, wholehearted yes.
Gretchen Kelton, yes, yes.
Steve Martin, also overwhelming. Thank you.
And Melissa Gary, yes.
Thank you so much, school committee.
And when
Great.
things are
It's
good,
so
you
incredible.
gotta say they're good, right?
Another great kind
Yeah.
of fun, I think this is also
Advocacy.
fun, is the advocacy.
Yeah, go ahead.
So next on the agenda is the Rural Schools and State Funding Advocacy Update.
So in your packets, I didn't send this out in advance, we'll put it in online tomorrow. So there's been a bit of a situation. This district has become a more active player over the past year in conversations across the state about rural school funding. I have been providing testimony at different hearings of different kinds about the importance of equitable funding for rural schools and trying to help state leaders understand the pressure on our towns when rural schools are not given adequate state support. So here's what happened. We were dismayed to find out recently that this very well written and well researched report, it is called A Sustainable Future for Rural Schools, and it was written by the Commission on the Fiscal Health of Rural School District. This commission was created through the Student Opportunity Act in 2019. It was a requirement of the Act. 2019 to 2022, it was published in July 2022. And it makes a number of very important recommendations about what steps the state could take to improve support for public school rural districts. Everyone related to rural schools has used this as their shared touchstone for what is needed and used the research and the citations in it. For example, about rural aid. For years, we have been citing the study's recommendation based upon fact that in 2022 dollars, the state should have been funding rural school aid at $60 million. If rural school aid were funded at $60 million, this year, for instance, Pioneer would have received $1.3 million in rural school aid. That could have done a whole lot. That could have reduced town assessments, pressure on the towns, and allowed us to take actions like bringing back the secondary librarian, having an early childhood coordinator, not laying off our director of teaching and learning, and again, reduce pressure on town budgets. So recently we learned that I'm going to call them, and I have relationships with some of these people. I respect them, and I spoke with them before coming out publicly with my concerns. Career civil servants at the highest levels in the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education and the Executive Office of Education, that is the governor's purview. Executive Office is the governor's, DESE is the department, have been saying that for instance, the number of $60 million for rural aid does not have a basis in fact and should be discounted. Yes, you can imagine our anger and dismay and the feeling of betrayal that many rural superintendents and school committee members involved in rural schools advocacy have felt in the past month. I heard it directly from one of these career civil servants. Again, I have a good relationship with this person, and I called this person before sending this letter. This is a letter I wrote a couple of weeks ago to Secretary of Education Steve Zreich and Commissioner Pedro Martinez, saying there's a breach. A breach has been uncovered between state government and what we are calling the field. The field means us. The field means people out in the towns and the schools and the districts doing the actual work of running school districts and municipal offices. Because without our knowledge, very influential people, apparently for years, have been saying, you don't have to listen to this. You don't have to pay attention to this. This number's not right. This is, and they're not contesting that they have said this. Let me be clear. They're not contesting that they have done that. So this letter got quite a bit of attention. I have been working with Senator Comerford. I've been working with Mary Burke, who is the executive director of the Massachusetts Association of Superintendents. I've also been collaborating with Superintendent Stanton of the Mohawk Trail Regional School District and Superintendent McKenzie of the Hadley School District. We met last week with Secretary Zweig. He asked for another meeting before school began, and I proposed that we have a rural schools summit in early October, and he has agreed. We will. I'm going to have a hand in developing the agenda for that. I facilitated the meeting with Secretary Zweig. I believe he listened. I believe he does understand that this is a real problem when career influential civil servants are saying something about the one single shared resource we all use to think about what rural schools need to do and what types of support the state should provide to ensure our long-term fiscal health. When folks are out there saying, not really, and we don't know, it undercuts our advocacy. And I believe it undercuts the work of town officials who speak up on behalf of rural funding. So I let the school committee chair know about, and I think Raina, did I send it? Yeah, I send them everything. So Pioneer is a leader in convening people to talk about this. We're being frank about the breach of trust here. We are being frank about the need for the state, including the governor's office, to engage in some repair. And this has created an opening for us to present our case even further about the ways in which the state does not adequately fund rural schools. So again, there will be another meeting with Secretary Zweig and Commissioner Martinez. He will participate before school opens. There will be a rural school summit. Have to figure out exactly what that looks like for a full day. And the commissioner and secretary are planning some rural school tours. I'll see if we can get Pioneer on the list. And I'd love to hear your questions about this.
Frank?
Ready to go.
Okay.
I've been following the state legislature and the dynamics of that pathetic organization for a little while. And you can talk to all these nice people and get, and advocate your position, which that's been going on for, I can't imagine, years. I mean, I can think back years when I was on the finance committee and the same story, and it's almost like the state legislature isn't transient. They're not. They have their thought process, and it doesn't change much year to year. And it's like the rural areas always have to beg for another million or whatever it is whatever level you think you can get. And each of the legislators that are voted by us try to do their thing, but they have no sway. Leadership in both houses, the Speaker of the House and the Senate President and her gang, pretty much make the decisions for everything. There's no transparency. It's hard to crack that nut. And I think that's not to say that you don't do it, that we continue to advocate and try to press the important political leaders of the moment to do the right thing and to say that whatever is in that brochure or whatever is correct, and it states the case quite clearly. And you can show them, your budgets year to year, how their bare bones have been always, and you're just trying to get through and the budget so that you can go to town meetings and get some revenue. I I just know the dilemma, and so I just think that I don't know who you can really grab at. I think Joe Comerford, she's a vice chair on the Ways and Means. If anybody has a chance, she does, of influencing what's going on. But I asked her one time, I said, oh, you know, after 10 years, you've got a fairly important position. You must be friends with Karen Spilka, who's the Senate president.
Yeah.
And she said quite emphatically, no, I am not. So I don't know what the relationship, maybe she's just, you know, in that position because we've got to give Western Mass something, you know, because the previous person was the chair of the Senate. She was Senate president, you know, not the previous, but somebody, what's his name? Had to leave in disgrace, whatever. But what I'm trying to say is that who do you connect with? And I think that's really what you need to do and penetrate that legislative body in some which way. And I don't to correct what has been a wrong for so long, you know. So, you know, kudos. I hope what you do, you know, you get to penetrate that I don't know what you want to call it, a sphere of a political, you know, whatever. They're gonna spend their money on what they want to spend it on.
MBTA.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your advocacy. I'm curious, so will school committee members be invited to the summit in October?
Yeah, I don't
we
know.
have a
Possibly
structure yet?
not. Martha Thurber, chair of the Mohawk Trail School Committee, and Jessica Corwin, member of the Sunderland School Committee. I've been in contact, you know, with Jessica in particular. We have to figure out what makes the most sense. I think it needs to be a full court press. I think it should be town officials. It should be the school committees. It should be the superintendents. And this letter has gone to every rural superintendent in the state. There are 41 superintendents of rural school districts, and they're mad.
Full court press.
They are mad. I think we need to try and get our families involved. When I walk the dog, that's when my daydreams happen. Walking the dog, I'm imagining a mile-long tractor parade up Beacon Hill with the hay bales on the back and
Lordy,
the petitions
Lordy,
and the
do it.
petitions stacked on the, you know, tie up the traffic
Let me
on
know what
Beacon
day
Hill.
I'll be there.
Beautiful.
So this is school committee. You have a role. I don't want to. I'm working with the superintendents. I think Martha Thurber working with you.
Jessica,
But you have your own. We need to tie them together. But I don't want to step on your toes and get like you've got Martha Thurber and Jessica, who are magnificent organizers. We'll do it in conjunction. But I think that's the way to go. Superintendents are working alongside school committee.
I think the fact that you've been heard and that they want more is exciting, while also knowing, right, the limitations of how far, you know, there's many people that can placate, and I'm hoping that this is a situation that isn't, and that we're starting
Shoot high. You know?
right.
Don't go
and,
here.
and you've
go
got
here.
some of the real players here.
Agreed.
So thank you. Yeah.
Just real quick, Brian Snell. I know select boards hear quite a bit from Senator Comerford, and so do the school committee. So if there's somebody listening at home, reach out to Senator Comerford's office for an address to write to if you're not sure and you're working on your own. That's a good way to start. Or if you need a place to start, Senator Comerford's office is always the first place to start.
Definitely. I anticipate that there is a chance that this Rural School Summit might be something like superintendents in the morning with the commissioner and secretary. The governor's office was also in our meeting. Kristen Aleko, who's the she's the governor's liaison.
Western Mass liaison.
Yeah, she was there.
Yeah.
Like maybe superintendents in the morning and then bring in legislators in the afternoon, but to be determined.
Get
but
former
thank you for your support.
superintendents. I think those are a good sort. I mean, they can document. I mean, they can state to the case that this has been going on
For a long time.
and they're good. And a lot of them, I know a couple that would, I'm certain they would want to come forward and make the case, help make the case.
All right.
Oh, I'm talking too much tonight.
District strategic plan. So last month we had the big presentation where we took all of that data and we boiled it down into 3 outcomes. And so here they are, ready for the vote. So I'm going to
Could I clarify one thing?
I'm going to turn
So,
it over. Yeah.
and again, thank you for your patience. That was a long presentation last meeting with a lot of slides, a lot of numbers. I thank you for your patience. This is a very particular style of strategic plan. It is minimalist, and I feel good about that. I have seen, we've looked at so many plans that are very wordy with a million things, and I don't think that's a good fit for us. What will happen next, should you approve this, is we get to work building our first plan, our first yearly plan. And that will include very specific outcomes and timelines during the year and who is responsible for which aspect. So this is a minimalist set of outcomes with actions related to each outcome. Should you approve it, we then come back with, okay, the admin team has put together a plan. Here's what our year 1 plans looks like for the district. And then our principals get to work with their school councils, making their school improvement plans. And I then build my educator evaluation goals for your review on that yearly first plan. So I just want to make sure everyone is aware of that. Thank you.
So the outcome 1 is the core academic achievement writing. And so by 2031, average student scores on the MCAS ELA extended responses in grades 3 through 5 and essay subtests in grades 6 through 10 will exceed the state average. Then it goes into the curriculum, the professional development, the assessment, and then the intervention. Outcome 2 is expanded opportunities at PVRS. By 2031, all students in grades 7 through 12 will have access every year to project-based and career-based learning opportunities that promote rigor, higher order thinking, and student voice. We have identified existing strengths, expanded opportunities, and then professional development. And then outcome 3, communication and community partnerships. By 2031, the district has strong and flourishing connections among students, families, staff, and the wider community. So to build on existing strengths, improve communications, and community service. So I would accept a motion to approve the 2026-2031 district strategic plan as presented.
So moved.
Second.
And any discussion?
I'd just like to say I really appreciate the minimalist format. I think it makes it clear. I'm not lost in the words. It's very understandable. So I appreciate it, and I think it's aspirational without being overwhelming.
Thank you.
Can I ask you what? You probably went over it last time, but who's with you is participating to form this plan?
A team, a cross-sector team. So every town was invited to send a representative to the district strategic planning team. We hired a consultant.
They're educators, you mean? Or?
No, the towns got to choose which people. So Bernardston had, Jane came for the first one, then Karen Kelly.
Yeah.
Leiden, who was Leiden's municipal representative?
Jeff.
Jeff Baker came, right. And Morgan O'Brien? I'm so embarrassed. Who is a parent at NES, but she's also on the finance committee for Northfield represented. We had teachers, we had school committee members, a whole range of people.
Parents.
Parents,
Community members.
like a whole.
The existing crew that you've been working with.
There was a team brought together specifically for this purpose.
Yeah.
We spent maybe $12,000 on our consultant around there. We hired him from we did a search and we presented to school, the whole thing. He led all these meetings. I did not lead these meetings.
I remember
He
that.
led the meetings. And then what happened is the consultant would work with the administrative team and then he would work with the district planning team, and then he would go back to the administrative team, so back and forth all year. There was a hiatus of, I don't know, about 4 months when we're dealing with the GIC and other things. It was a lot of people. We did a big community survey. You know, it was a lot.
So you're not going to have a consultant at any time from this point on. I mean, you're going
We
to
don't need a
fabricate
consultant.
this yourself. How soon you were saying, how soon do you think you're going to be able to roll something out? Or
Well, we already have some, what I think are some pretty exciting ideas about this, including the community partnership, the community and family partnership. We have some thoughts about using the opioid trust fund money for that. So I don't want to overpromise for the next school committee meeting because I've been wearing a lot of hats recently. We haven't had a director of, everyone should know this. We haven't had a director of student services since July 1, so I've been picking that up. And we still don't have an early childhood coordinator, so I've been supporting people. There's been a lot. So we got to bring you the handbooks for next.
Those are two big hats.
Yeah. And we don't have a director of teaching and learning anymore. And we're doing okay. I think it would be real. I would love to say the August, 20th meeting? Is that our next one?
That's our next
I'd
one.
love to say August 20. It's probably more realistic for me to say the September meeting. I should probably say, why don't I say
Yes,
that? September. We're going to bring you the first
Yeah,
yearly
all
plan
right.
for September
That's-
for your review.
Yeah.
Frank Ribeiro, yes.
Michelle Geruso, yes.
Raina Dastu, yes.
Gretchen Kelton, yes.
That's exciting.
Steve Martin, yes. Thank you.
Melissa Gary, yes.
Thank you so much, school committee.
Okay, so I will entertain a motion to go into executive session according to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining with the Teachers Association if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining position of the public body and the chair so declares. Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to litigation threatened by the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association, MIAA, if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the litigating position of the public body and the chair so declares. And Mass General, are we doing
Which one?
the minutes?
No minutes.
No, and
sorry,
we're not
minutes,
doing,
no.
we're
They
not
weren't
doing the
reviewed in
minutes,
time
so
by
we
the
are not
attorney.
doing the minutes. They are not ready. So just A and B. We will be welcoming in Superintendent and
Taffy.
Ann Harding and Taffy Bassett Fox.
Oh, is Ann online?
Yep,
Yes.
Ann's online.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Great.
Okay,
So moved.
so moved by
And we'll be
Gretchen.
returning to open session.
Yeah, we have to return to open session.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go open up the room.
Okay,
Vote yes on this.
so we,
Frank
hold
Ribeiro,
on. We
yes.
Michelle
had a motion.
Geruso, yes.
Oh, no, we had
Oh.
a motion.
We didn't have a second,
Oh,
so,
didn't have-
Oh, second.
so moved, okay, and seconded by Michelle. Okay, now we can vote.
All right, now. Frank Ribeiro, yes.
Michelle Geruso, yes.
Raina Dastu, yes.
Gretchen Kelton, yes.
Steve Martin, yes.
Melissa Gary, yes. All right.
Okay, I'm just gonna.
Yeah. Video.
How are your eyelashes doing?
Eyelashes.
Yeah.
We've had two other offices.
Oh, your report back, you're going to say, he wasn't naughty. He was
Yeah, I'm gonna say, good job.
I know
Okay.
what you're doing.
You would do the same.
Ask me questions, that's why I'm
I'm just
here,
telling
Frank.
you, this is the
Oh, I'm coming. Gee, I wouldn't miss it.
Okay, I gotta go.
choice.
Good grief.
Not mandated.
I'm
That's
running. I'll
request
be
to
there.
us. You got it.
Holy mackerel.
Because we already had two other offers.
Yeah.
The only thing we have to do is send our kids somewhere. We've already got that offer. at a
Going.
cheaper price. That's a different argument. I just want to clarify why I was clarifying the comment, because we were actually not mandated.
Off-site. Oh, yeah, there's no,
I had a vending machine. I went to school like 100 years ago. Oh, the new health laws.
other than that, yeah, there hasn't been a vending machine for.
It's the new health laws that got them cleared out of all the schools. That's ridiculous. Including for staff. Because they were afraid the kids would use it. Somebody. Oh, it's good though. I'm all right. Thank you. Well, you better go to your meeting. Okay, all right. Get done, quick. Okay. See you later.
Nice to.
I'm coming. He would have a stash. I knew he was the right guy to ask.
But no, it's been kind of cleaned out and lean.
Collective bargaining, a strategy for collective bargaining. Strategy.
He
said
that she's done her next select board meeting, we're going to talk about that. So we should talk about that. Yeah, we can state for our last executive. It's like one item.
Yeah, that MOA of REA, which we don't even have in the packet.
I wouldn't stay, I'm not going.
No, we can't. With Michelle. With Michelle.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
So I'm Brian, South Warwick, on the select
Oh,
board.
Catherine, yeah.
Catherine.
Demario.
I'm Brian, I'm on the select board.
Yeah, and Miss Erica.
Eric,
Nice
nice
to meet
you.
Jensen is our chair.
Oh, okay.
Select board.
We rotate our chairs.
Yeah, so we gave her 2 years. And I know. Well, we might, like, next year.
It will. I'm out. So you guys are doing a special election too for the town board? Combination? The 6th town? Well, yeah.
Oh,
I think we have to. Well,
the 6th town. 6th town.
Yeah.
Franklin Tech. We're doing one for Franklin Tech.
No.
Well, that's a debt exclusion.
Last time we were having. I know.
We don't know.
They have not approved the special legislation for the, so we wait on that. But then, Franklin Tech is what, October? Yeah, we're not a lot of elections. We're trying to put them all at the same day.
Yeah.
Well, I also don't think. Well, he doesn't necessarily have all of this. I know.
Yeah, sure. We all do.
We all do. So you did see the term falls, X out there. About high school? High school? Yeah. Small town, not one. Shall see what happens. Well, I know for them it's a real, as an educator, I know it's a real cost for them. All right, so what was your name again? Eric. Erica, and you're on the other select board chair, and you're on the select board too, and you must have a three-person select.
Yeah, and Jeff Baker, who was mentioned as one of the
Yeah, I met that.
our third.
I met.
This is his third.
I even met him here, like, one of the other 5, 6 times.
Yeah.
A gentleman from there.
Well, he came here to meet with as well, so who knows?
How's life doing?
Like every other small town.
Yeah, like, and every other tiny town, like
Yeah.
Warwick, and we're 500 households, not that many voters, and don't have any kids in school, and yet we have, you know, obligations. We have no tax base for our real estate, property tax. Business, nothing.
That's a new growth.
Last year was at 5%, this year.
Yeah.
So, and it's,
I've seen some growth in building, I mean, housing.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
So there were 5 houses last year.
There's a lot for sale.
There's a
number
lot
of
for
them
sale.
that are for sale.
And they go fast.
Yeah,
They do.
fairly.
Are you in Hamilton or just?
No.
That's the problem.
For summer homes, so that doesn't help us at all. Living one in Boston, one in New York. So a couple new kids, but they are not going to.
The dilemma is, they are.
Encouraging families with.
Well, things small. No, not necessarily. For you guys, maybe. For us, we're.
It is hard for us. Our school was shut down.
The school shut.
We don't have any industry, no commercial property,
This is
so
this
it's
is the
tough.
problem with us, with finding people. Which way to go, because we have our new growth, as opposed to what we. Well, senior citizens. What?
50%.
Yeah, yeah, we're high. That's
I
right.
think we're at 55
Oh,
this year.
easily,
Yeah.
it depends on where you cut the age, where
That's
you,
true.
where you make that
Yeah.
age limit. We have what, it's over 30 households, there's only one person. It's well over 30 houses in town, there's only one. They're all older.
Long-term projection. How do you keep it going?
So that's the question. That's why we're paying $1.1 million to educate. And it's not saying that. Both spend a lot of time.
So, I mean, for our town, you know, it'll be that if taxes have to go up, push people out, and people out, and we'll get more summer homes,
Yeah.
single, you know,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
that don't have children,
No, that's
because
exactly
they're
what
not the ones who are gonna be able to buy the houses.
I agree.
We have more houses in foreclosure now than we've had in
Yeah.
a great deal.
Really?
In a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
It's because of taxes. So I got people who are 70 living on a fixed income, and pay 10% more in tax. 15.4 this year? No, 15.14 this year.
Yeah, but the property values are high.
Yeah,
So
our
again, we
EQV
have the
kills
same
us.
problem many of the,
Yeah.
which is you get one or two people with $1 billion houses.
Oh, I tried to get somebody to build one on North Grove Road.
And
It's a 3-year project.
It throws everything off in terms of the property value, and what people are willing to pay. I mean, it's shocking. I have the road I live on is a dirt road. So is Erica, I mean, most of our roads are dirt. And this tiny house, I mean, wasn't, it's a very small house, maybe 1,200 square feet, maybe. And nothing, I mean, nothing in terms of, you know, it wasn't like a cabin or like a, you know, like kind of woodsy constructed, nothing. They paid over $300,000 for that, and not even property. I mean, they only have the 4 or 5 acres with it. And as it turns out, whoever did the surveying initially on that piece of property, they did it wrong because the property owned by Liz and Tom actually goes right through their deck. And they park it there. I mean, it's because the people prior to them subdivided it. I don't know.
The young guy?
But they're, no, these are older people.
Yeah.
Again, and I'm thinking, you
Well,
know,
that's the dilemma. That was the dilemma for us. What are we going to
yeah.
do? I wish they had. I know the key. Let's go there.
That's what the
Begging
new
to
school,
come.
that's what the new school committee on this. Figure
Yeah,
out
what's that?
who the teachers are, what's gonna happen with all of that stuff, and that's not gonna happen overnight.
If it
for
doesn't
sure.
go, I mean, the only thing we have to talk about is even a bigger school. I mean, you got the tech school with 19.
I don't think nothing.
Yes,
Absolutely, and they would be closing schools left and right.
I can tell you, and even as a small school, the number of requirements.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The requirements were why should you get this? It has to be dedicated. So police, you guys are running a volunteer or?
No, we have merged with Bernardston.
And fire.
And how's that, and how's that work?
Amazing.
That's our-
We
that's-
have,
that's the
we've had a bumpy history services previously. But now we have a very professional, well-trained, consistent, a very smart chief. 2 years. But they, with good officers coming up, merged fire, a MOU, which are now fighting. So, and already better coverage, not as much a next up is EMS, working with
Franklin, with Franklin.
I mean, our highway makes a lot of money.
Well, our highway doesn't, but at the same time, the highway would be the easiest for us to legacy.
Well,
We haven't had that problem that you have with the police. Work out timeline. You know, get away.
And only get it up to a certain age.
You get away with it.
Yeah, you get a waiver, but now, even after a waiver, a certain age, they cut you off and off the list. And we're there, we're getting close with the mayor in Bernardston.
So
Yeah.
we had an efficiency rehabilitation grant about looking into what we can do, what more we can do with furnaces after. And things like highway, or all the things you could possibly think of.
Yep.
We kind of looked at, but senior services,
Library.
I'm happy with what we know about
Library.
senior services. I wouldn't want to do it, but it will come up at some point.
I mean,
there.
I know.
And,
And that's just your town.
So, I mean, but people were willing to say, well, like the fire department, ours would be a substation. And our fire department would be a substation. We think that the talk was the same thing for the library, that it would be, a substation, sub-library to the one in. But in the end, it was only fire that we moved forward with because there was enough reasons, even some state restrictions on things like wanted to combine treasurer.
Yes.
We wanted
do
to
that.
combine town clerks.
Yes,
Can't do that.
And you
and this
can't
is
do
what they
it.
do with the school. Trust me, if you have a small school, you can run these companies.
Well,
Yeah.
we did have one, but Bessie shut us down. So it wasn't a choice. And at some point,
Did you run in the town?
No,
No.
we were part of Pioneer.
I thought we were part of Pioneer at the time. But at some point, that is what the state was.
But, you know, in the end,
So the
I
six
just,
town will too.
That's what they'll do.
They have to.
yeah.
They have to,
In
otherwise
the
there
end,
can be no efficiencies. I don't know about your, not your school, but.
Well, they will close.
Closing our
What
school.
they'll do, what they'll do is they won't close the school. Go ahead and close.
Well, and once
Great,
the,
thank
the
you.
NCTD
And welcome back
comes back on, I
from
should be
executive
okay
session.
But-
So the first order of business is to vote on the MOA with the PVREA Student Services Mini Summit. So I would accept a motion to accept the MOA with the PVREA for the Student Services Mini Summit.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, discussion?
Right.
None? Vote.
Frank Ribeiro, yes.
Michelle Geruso, yes.
Raina Dastu, yes.
Gretchen Kelton, yes.
Stephen Martin, yes.
And Melissa Gary, yes. Okay, so other business not anticipated, but coming out of executive session, there has been a resolution to pay proposed.
that you will vote on in open session.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I thought you said resolution. I
Yeah,
didn't
no,
want people to think.
no. That with the MIAA and the Pioneer Valley Regional School District have proposed a school remediation plan along with paying legal fees of $23,313.41 to the MIAA. So I would accept a motion to approve payment of $23,313.41 to the Massachusetts Interscholastic Athletic Association to resolve a legal fees dispute.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay.
Frank Ribeiro, yes.
Michelle Geruso, yes.
Raina Dastu, yes.
Gretchen Kelton, yes.
Stephen Martin, yes.
And Melissa Gary, yes. Okay, that is all I had for other business not anticipated. Is there any other business?
Yes.
Yes.
I was wondering when we were going to do the annual superintendent evaluation, because on September 4th, there's a learning lunch through MASC. That might
Yeah.
help us.
So we talked about that last meeting.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Okay.
We talked about it
and
at this
we-
meeting also.
And then, so we were waiting.
did?
Yeah.
We were waiting for the district strategic plan to be
Okay.
approved.
Okay.
And then, so I had asked superintendent to wait until we took a vote on
Okay.
the district improvement plan so that she could create her goals. And then what she said this evening is that she would come probably in September, beginning of September, with those goals
Okay.
tonight. Yep. Okay. Anything else? Okay. All right. So we have an upcoming policy subcommittee meeting on August 17th at 5:30 p.m. Our next regularly scheduled school committee meeting is August 20th at 6 p.m. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Frank Ribeiro, yes.
Michelle Geruso, yes.
Raina Dastu, yes.
Gretchen Kelton, yes.
Stephen Martin, yes, and thank you.
And Melissa Gary, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night, thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
So I will do those.
Another.